Hi everyone, this is Lorraine and this is Felix, and he is 5 months old. Can you say that yet? It's not there yet. There you are. You are cute. He loves the camera. Love the camera. Selfie. So Felix is a big boy. He is in a lot of 6 to 9 month clothing. We have been really liking the brands Oshkosh and Carter's lately. He's wearing Splendid pants that are 6 to 12 month right now. Splendid seems to run a little bit on the small side though, so that's hard to gauge. He still wears some of his 0 to 3 month clothing and a lot of 3 to 6 month clothing. So he's kind of all over the place with clothing. It just depends on the brand. And the 6 to 9 month clothing is a little bit big, but I'd rather it be a little bit big than too tight. You took off your sock. You took off your sock. You're getting big, boy. You're getting so big. His favorite socks, well, my favorite socks for him are the Stance socks. He's wearing some now, and I ordered some. They haven't arrived yet. His 3 to 6 month ones that he's wearing right now are now too small. So I'm like, when do my new ones come in? 6 to 12 months. So I'm excited to receive those because I like baby socks. They're super cute and they're comfortable, right? He's like, whatever, Mom. Whatever. Still in size 3 diapers. I feel like that's what he was in last month, if I'm not mistaken, size 3 diapers. He's pretty much the happiest baby ever. He very, very rarely cries. The only time that he cries is if he's overly tired or if he's hungry and I decide to like change his diaper before I feed him. Then sometimes he'll get a little upset. What are you looking at? Oh, you like my button on my jacket. He likes to grab for lots of things. The whole world. My favorite baby. He's super heavy. Look at that head control. Super good head control. Skills. I mentioned last month he started rolling now from his back to his tummy. Now he's rolling all over the place. So I'll put him on his activity mat, which I do a lot now. He likes to be on his activity mat, which is the skip hop one. I'll link it below if you'd like, but it's a skip hop alphabet mat. Put him in the middle of it, and then all of a sudden he'll be on our wood floor. Like he just has rolled all the way over to the wood floor. So he's rolling like crazy. I'm gonna have to baby proof soon because I feel like crawling, we're on the verge of crawling. We've been practicing his sitting skills. So he sits up pretty well now. He sits up assisted pretty well. Like I'll put him in and he can sit up pretty well, but he eventually falls over. So we're working on his sitting skills. He's doing really, really well with that, just not completely there yet. But I figured since he will be 6 months very soon, and he'll start eating soon, I want him to be able to sit really nicely to eat his food. So we've been practicing, so I'll put him on the bed. My son, my 3-year-old son, loves when we do this. We put him in the middle of the bed and we sit him up, and I'll hold his hand for a little bit just to help him out, and then I'll let go, and then he'll fall. not always like fall right away, but he'll fall after a while from side to side. And my 3-year-old thinks it's hilarious, and he thinks it's fun too because he loves my 3-year-old so much. 4 month sleep regression was a real thing. After I filmed the last video, 4 month sleep regression happened where he was pretty consistent with his naps, where he would take these long naps during the day. And now they've turned into like 2 30-minute naps in the morning and 1 long nap in the afternoon. But he was fighting them for a couple days. So he just like wanted to stay awake. And I don't have a problem with him staying awake, but I don't want him to be fussy. And the first couple days he was kind of fussy because he was tired, but he wanted to be awake. So that I would put him a lot of times in the Baby Bjorn carrier, and he liked that. So we just go on with our day, because that's all you do when you have a baby is you just go on with your day. You don't let it stop you. You just have a baby and you put them in your routine and you make everything work, right? But so a lot of days I'll put him in his baby Bjorn carrier when we're out, which he loves, and we go forward facing now because he likes that. If he looks like he's really, really tired, I'll put him in facing me. And very rarely will he fall asleep on me, but sometimes he does. And if he's asleep during the day, I just take him from his car seat and pop him into our stroller, and we just, you know, we just go like that. And then if he wakes up, he usually is pretty nice and content, awake in his car seat and everything. But if he decides that he doesn't want to be there, I put him in the baby Bjorn carrier, and that's good. So I really like the baby Bjorn original carrier. There's tons of carriers out there that you can get. That is just my personal favorite one. I like how it crisscrosses on the back. I like how easy it is to put on. I like that it's not so bulky. There's just a lot of things that I like about that particular carrier. I've had an ergo carrier, and I don't like how that one snaps in the back, and I don't like how the baby feels positioned on me. It just doesn't feel as comfortable with, maybe it's just my body type. So I feel like you have to try on carriers and stuff to figure out which one will work best for you and baby. Like I said, he's sleeping less than before, but it's all good because he's just really happy. So our day goes as follows. We wake up at about 6:30 still. A couple days with the daylight savings time, we woke up at 5, and I was digging that because we were just really getting going really early, but we started going back to sleep until 6:30. So we are sleeping till 6:30. I think he wakes up like an hour before we actually get out of bed. I'm not sure what time it is. I need to like look at my phone when he wakes up to eat while we're sleeping, but when we, you know, are sleeping, he still sleeps in my bed. I was trying to get him out of there, and then we just kind of kept going with that. I'm not against it, but he wakes up a couple times to eat during the night, and that's it. But we wake up officially at 6:30, and then we get my son's lunch and everything ready because he doesn't eat then. He has eaten sometime before that, and then he eats again around like 7:30 or so when we, before we leave the house, 7:30, 8 o'clock, I feed him right before we leave. I always feed him right before I leave the house. That is just something, and he's still exclusively breastfeeding. I don't pump or anything. I just feed him from the tap. Just easy. So then we are out the door. We do whatever we need to do, like I mentioned before, baby Bjorn carrier, stroller, something along those lines. I take my son to school, we go into work, he feeds around 10 o'clock again. He sleeps after we drop off my son to school. So he sleeps then. He wakes up, I feed him, and that's usually around 10 o'clock. He's so good. You're so good. So then after that, he's awake, and then he takes another like half-hour nap, 45-minute nap before we pick up my son from school. He eats again sometime after that. It's just like that on and on. And then around like 3 o'clock, he'll sometimes take a 3-hour nap, usually 2-hour nap. And then he is pretty much awake until we go to bed around 8 to 9. But yeah, and he just eats probably every 3 hours. I would say he's still eating about every 3 hours. But I always just, I keep my days pretty consistent. I think that's what you do when you have a baby, but, because routine is good. But yeah, lately he's been awake a lot more, so we put him on his activity mat a lot more, which he really enjoys. He also really enjoys his baby Bjorn bouncer. We've added 2 new toys in to his routine. We have some, I keep meaning to do this video from the 0 to 3 month, like my essentials, but I think I'm gonna just do a whole 0 to 6 months because you don't add in that much more stuff. And then I'll tell you all when I add in those things because it just didn't go according to plan, but that's okay. But the new toys that we've added in are the Manhattan Toys Winkle. This is the other good one. It's good, especially like around this time when they start getting teeth, because it's hard.
I'm here first.
It's a little bit heavier of a toy, so he can hold it now, but he probably couldn't have held it as well until this point. But I think it's a good teething toy because he can put his little teeth. He doesn't have teeth yet, but I think they're gonna come in soon. He seems to really like that. It's a little bit heavier, so he's now able to hold it really nicely because his holding skills and grabbing skills are very on point. He's doing really well with that. And then we've given him, he likes my husband's phone a lot, like the phone case. So my husband lets him play with that a lot of times, but we had bought a phone case for Graham when Graham was baby, and it was SpongeBob because Graham loved SpongeBob. Like he didn't like any other TV, but if SpongeBob was on, we could get him to sit and just stare at it. And I'm like, oh, that's good. I like that, whatever. So we have a SpongeBob's like silicone phone case, and we've given that to him now, and he loves that too. So I brought you. He loves that. They're such just a good toy for babies because they're light. And the silicone ones are real nice. He really loves the SpongeBob one though. We got ours at the Apple store in Pittsburgh. Is it good? But that was when Graham was a baby, so over 3 years ago. Those are the only toys that we've added this past month. But you can find those with like different animals and things on them. Okay, and when he sleeps during the day, I forgot to mention, he sleeps swaddled in a swaddle blanket. I no longer am using the Woombi zip up ones. They're, I think, just a little bit too constraining now. So he'll be swaddled up. I'll feed him usually to make him fall asleep. Didn't necessarily have to do that before. But you know, the 4-month thing, it kind of screwed up everything. So I'm kind of feeding him to go to sleep now, which I'll try to get rid of that later, but you know, it's working and it's good and my life is happy. So that's all I care about. But I swaddle him up and he usually pulls out an arm or something, but he's completely fine. He doesn't wake himself up anymore, with his hands or anything. So, he sleeps swaddled now. And if he sleeps during the day, I always put him in his dock-a-tot. That keeps him from kind of rolling around. It just keeps him like kind of in this little thing, but he can still free his hands and stuff, but it keeps him from rolling, which I think that he would do if I tried to just lay him down during the day. At nighttime, he sleeps in bed just next to me, hands-free, no swaddling whatsoever, just sleeps there, comforted. Usually I'll feed him. He falls asleep. I usually lay down, feed him without like my arm or anything. I just feed him like sideways, and then he eats for a while and I just let him go, and then he usually turns to his side that faces away from me, and then he sleeps on his side for his next nap. So we will see you all very soon with another video. Goodbye. Oh, another thing. We started tearing paper with this baby now because Graham never really thought it was hilarious, but he thinks it's kind of funny, tearing paper. You do. You think it's kind of funny. And he's ticklish. I like that. He's ticklish right here. He's ticklish a little bit. No, I haven't gotten the hysterical laughing from him yet, which I look forward to, but his giggles are pretty cute. All right, will you say goodbye for now? Goodbye for now.